Garrett Allen on your left playing Ironworks combo against Benjamin Nikolich on your right playing Jeskai Control. Top shelf, Matthew Kuhnel playing Jeskai Stoneblading against Luke Purcell playing Miracles. And bottom shelf, Kevin Jones, Blue Eye Control against Brandon Cline playing Mono Green Aggro. And we will be underway here in just a moment. Apologies for having to miss round number 10, but we're happy to bring you round number 11. Why is this place called King of Prussia? Any idea?
I mean, I assume there's some sort of history related to the King of Prussia, which was a real thing hundreds of years ago.
Yeah?
But I don't know for sure.
I've been informed that Nick Miller knows the answer to this question. There's a bar named the King of Prussia or something? Miller. Nick Miller. Why is it called King of Prussia?
It cannot be because there was a bar.
It can't be because there's a bar.
It's not because there was a bar.
It is loosely named around a tavern, we've been told. Apparently they wanted to keep the Germans in town to fight wars with them. And so that's why they named it the King of Prussia.
I don't want to speculate. When we can get to a reliable source.
Yeah, like Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Well, let me go to Wikipedia and find out what's going on.
My phone does not work in this dungeon, so you are going to have to figure that out.
Maybe Twitter knows. Hashtag SCGPHILLY. Apparently this place has a very nice mall.
It's a big mall, and all the things that come along with having a town built around a large mall are true of King of Prussia. And that is not a compliment.
The feud with Philadelphia continues.
I played in a PTQ in a food court in that mall back in the day.
You bet you did?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? The Cinnabon's right there.
Yep, the Cinnabon was right there.
Of course it was. I'd love to play a PTQ in a mall.
When, a lot of times that people talk about when they're like selling cards online, they're like smoke-free home, because once you get the smell of smoke into your collectibles, you cannot get it out. The same is true of Cinnabons. If your cards are around Cinnabons, they smell like Cinnabon forever.
That's not a bad thing. Here's a chromatic star. Crack the star, draw a card. Ancient Stirrings. Should it be banned?
I think I would prefer it to be banned, but it's complicated. It is indefensible, but there's a cost to banning cards and blah, 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 blah.
Jim Davis, who is not here this weekend, unfortunately, has informed me that the community took its name in the 18th century from a local tavern named the King of Prussia Inn, which was named after King Frederick the Great of Prussia. Mm-hmm. Seems like some dubious facts found in Wikipedia to me. Benjamin Nikolich is going to sacrifice his scalding tarn and dig out a hollowed fountain.
It's surprising hearing that story that we don't have more American towns in the former colonies that are named similarly.
I could see that being true.
Like, why is there no Archduke of something or other in rural New Jersey? Because there was definitely a bar.
Yeah. There was definitely a bar. We'll go to Nikolich for his second turn of the game. Nikolich, as you know, a Jeskai Control master. I'm sure he's probably started to run into this matchup a time or two. Not sure how good it is for him, but I will say the burn spells in his main deck stink.
Yeah. He is a little light on reasonable interaction. A couple counter spells.
Logic knots, of course. Some number of cryptic commands, and that's really the only way that Nikolich is going to be able to interact here. Might be able to catch a Scrap Trawler with a Path Exile, but if Garrett Allen is a well-versed Ironworks player, that will be difficult to do.
Yep.
I believe Garrett Allen, our only Ironworks player in day number 2 of competition. That could give his team a huge leg up here. As Allen with a Terrarion on the battlefield along with the Darksteel Citadel, a Forest, and now a Grove of the Burn Willows. This is a Mere Retriever. That will resolve. The follow-up is a Chromatic Sphere. Nikolich will sacrifice a Flooded Strand. As you do see the Retriever there 2-mana 1/1. When Mirror Retriever dies, return another target artifact card from your graveyard. Part of the infinite loop that this deck can do. Nikolich is going to think once.
Yep. Got to get that out of the way.
The first half of Think Twice, as there is a flooded strand, and we head back over to Garrett Allen. Garrett Allen will draw a card.
Part of the reason that, there's a variety of reasons I'm not thrilled with Ancient Stirrings, but it's not like these artifact decks are short on the experience of cantripping if they want it. This is a deck just with nothing but stars and spheres and Terrarians.
Yeah, but you got to work for it a little bit.
I guess.
You got to play stars and spheres and Terrarians. Ironworks.
Yeah, just...
I would counter that. That is a logic knot. Ironworks is countered. And the problem is solved, at least for now, for Benjamin Nikolich.
Yeah, there's a lot of redundancy in the Ironworks deck, so a lot of cantripping. He's going to get another shot at it, plus he's got the Mirror Retriever. So, important for Nikolich to have it there to avoid death, but it's not like Allen's out of it.
No, he's under zero pressure.
Zero pressure.
We got a long game to play.
And I like going for it the turn before Nikolich has Cryptic Command mana up. There aren't that many counterspells in the deck that can handle it there. Game might be over on the spot. And if Nikolich has a Logic Knot or something similar, you just play on. It's not the biggest deal.
I do agree. We'll head back over to Garrett Allen, who will draw a card. This deck does such a nice job of finding Ironworks or getting ones that have been taken care of from the graveyard, of course, with Buried Ruin. Time to sack a sphere. Draw a card. Let's see what comes next. Scared Allen still hasn't used that Terrarian just yet. Here's Nicker Wellspring. That'll resolve. Draw a card. And now here is Mox Opal, a powerful magic card. Chromatic Star. Look at all the cantripping.
Look at all that just straight garbage on the table.
Nikolich, he'll take a moment to think twice. Come on, think twice is this is unacceptable. There's a Path to Exile and Mirror Retriever. Garrett Allen's going to search up the land. It's such low power.
It is really low power. But that is not uniquely true of Think Twice in Nikolich's deck.
I have to know why. There's no way that has always been in his deck. We've been watching Nikolich play Jeskai forever. And it's frightening to me to Think Twice is a new addition.
Might be good in the mirror. I know there's a lot of sitting around not doing anything and like whatever.
Yeah, it could be. He's got 2 copies of Think Twice in his main deck, does Benjamin. All right, we're going to sacrifice a star, draw a card. Little bit of mana floating. How well does Garrett Allen know this matchup? That's definitely a question that needs to be thought of here. Nikolich's deck, again, doesn't put on too much pressure. But it does have counter magic. It does have Snapcaster Mages. It does have Snapcaster Mage plus burn spells, so they can turn up the heat pretty quickly, depending on the draw.
So it's pretty easy for Allen to reassemble Ironworks because of the amount of cantripping and because of Mirror Retriever and so forth. But it is hard for him to overwhelm Nikolich's mana and do everything big in one turn because he just kind of spins his tires a lot. There's a lot of cantripping going on. It's really hard for him to go, all right, end of your turn, here's a meaningful thing, untap, here's a meaningful thing, and try to plow through his counterspells that way by taxing the mana. That's a challenge.
The land for the turn is Inventor's Fair.
Busted.
Yep, that card's very good. Nikolich going to be consulting with Luke Purcell there. This is a lightning helix. We're going upstairs. Anything else here for Benjamin? Looks like the answer is no. So we head back over. Nikolich will now take his turn. SCG Tour Columbus Open champion to kick off 2018 as Benjamin Nikolich beat his teammates in this tournament, Kevin Jones, in the finals of that tournament in a Jeskai control mirror. One for the ages there as Nikolich really demonstrated his prowess. I'm curious if Garrett Allen remembered his Inventor's Fair trigger there. Looks like he didn't, and that's why he put the die on top of his deck. As he just plays another land and passes the turn back. This will be a Snapcaster Mage. Targeting Path to Exile. Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get to land number 5 here. It looked like he was thinking about a Serum Vision last turn, but couldn't risk missing a land on the draw step and then having the shields potentially be down.
Yep.
So I think he wants to get to 5 mana so he can cantrip while leaving up Cryptic Command mana and then start to pull ahead that way.
Nikolich will draw, picked up a Scalding Tarn. He'll sacrifice a fetch land. I think we will see that Serum Visions that you just mentioned.
Really nice scry there for Nikolich, being able to leave a Cryptic on top and putting a Supreme Verdict on the bottom.
All right, Inventor's Fair. Gonna find an Ironworks again. And I think maybe the plan now is to overload Cryptic Commands by playing 2 Ironworks in one turn.
Yep, that's the way to do it. I mean, that's one way to do it. If you can get to 8 mana, but then it's still not deterministic from there that he has the game wrapped up. It's just he gets his marquee card on the table.
Back to Garrett Allen. He'll draw a card. All right, well.
Yeah.
It's going to go like this. Maybe it won't.
I mean, this line only makes sense if you have 8 mana.
It's true. All right, well, 8 mana, maybe not a second Ironworks. There's a Snapcaster Mage, target a Lightning Helix, put you down to 14.
Yeah, Nikolich wants to start applying some pressure. I mean, Allen is clearly in a spot here where he's trying to set up a hand that can go off through 1 counterspell, maybe 2. And especially with Nikolich missing his land drops, I think it's kind of incumbent on him to shorten the game here a little bit, put pressure on Allen to actually play something into Nikolich's counterspells.
All right, we head back over to Garrett Allen. Got to do something eventually. Nice thing here for Nikolich is you know your life total doesn't matter all that much. If you're going to die, you're going to die in one fell swoop. Does make me wonder what's going on in Garrett's hand at this stage and how well versed he is with this strategy.
Well, at 6 mana, you're looking at the possibility of 2 counterspells. You have Cryptic plus Logic Knot, or maybe there's a stray Negate hanging out in Nikolich's deck, something like that. So you're still not in a position where you can necessarily overwhelm what's going on.
There's a Mind Stone. Three mana here. Looks like that'll be a Scrap Trawler. Sacrifice that, trigger, gonna get back Chromatic Star. Path to Exile is gonna target Scrap Trawler here. And that's gonna work. So the draw from Mind Stone will happen, and the returning of Chromatic Star will happen as well.
And Garrett Allen is out of Forest, so he did not miss the path trigger.
Got it. Land for turns Grove of the Burn Willows. Now here is that star. And Just going to pass the turn back. Still not looking to deploy Cline Ironworks just yet. Let's see what this is. Another Snapcaster Mage, it looks like. Targeting Path Exile again. Okay. It's an expensive way to ramp.
Yep. I figured there was a Bolt or a Helix down there. Nikolich would pass up on the mana and just try to keep the pressure going. But with nothing really valuable to flash back there, the mana could be really good for Nikolich being able to... Alan is clearly trying to set up multiple spells in a turn here. And to fight that off, Nikolich just needs as much mana as possible.
He needs to get to double Cryptic or just double Counterspell, basically.
Yep.
That's the game plan as we head back over to Garrett Allen. You'll see that Matthew Kuhnel did win game number 1 there over Luke Purcell. Jeskai Stoneblade up a game right now over Miracles. And on the bottom shelf, Kevin Jones, Blue-White Control, won his first game against Brandon Cline playing Mono Green Aggro. Really good matchup for Blue-White Control down there. Here's 4 mana. That's an Ironworks. Well, obviously we're going to see a counterspell here in Cryptic Command. Counter draw, I imagine, are the modes. And now what's the follow-up? It'll be a Mind Stone. Land for turn. And I'm a tad bit surprised that we didn't see another Ironworks that turn.
Yeah, opening up on Crackline Ironworks without the ability to force through a second one is really curious.
Yeah.
I would even just prefer... with the lines that Alan has taken up at this point, I would have just preferred Mind Stone, sacrifice it, and then see where you're at. Probably just pass the turn again.
There's Jace the Mind Sculptor here that did pick up a Logic Knot there for Nikolich, so that is pretty close to a hard counter in this stage of the game. His graveyard isn't as full as he would like, I would imagine, but it's still a pretty good card in this spot.
Yeah, it looks like... I don't know. It's going to come down to the details. It looks like if Alan were to play Ironworks, he'd have 7 mana left over. The Logic Knot he can do for 2... and he would have to have 6 cards in his graveyard, although the land he just played was a Flooded Strand. I think he has enough, but it's not obvious. Mm-hmm. It'll be close. And it could get mucked up if Alan has a land drop to make this turn.
All right, sacrifice Grumstar.
That's good news here for Nikolich, because that's just a little bit less mana, potentially, that for Alan to be working. I guess it's a freebie.
Yeah.
All right.
Now it's a little bit less.
Yeah, now he's actually down. Yep.
The old Ichor Wellspring. Draw another card. Let's see how Garrett Allen wants to move forward. All right, it's 4 mana again. This another attempt at Ironworks here? Nope. Yeah, you can just see that Garrett's having some difficulty formulating a game plan here. It looks like he's uncomfortable in the matchup. Or other players that we have seen playing Ironworks with so much success, like Party and Nass, are just so well-versed in what they're looking to accomplish all the time.
And, this is complicated.
It's definitely complicated.
Trying to play this deck under the best of conditions is a little complicated, and when you're trying to play through Cryptic Commands and Logic Knots, it's even harder. But
here is Logic Knot. So Nikolich is going to delve away quite a bit of his graveyard here. You see 4 mana available, so he'll delve away 5 cards. That'll take care of an Ironworks. Let's see what comes next. Ichor Wellspring. Draw a card. Now there's a Mirror Retriever in hand right now. this will be a Pyrite Spell Bomb, which is an answer to that Snapcaster Mage, but not an answer to Jace the Mind Sculptor. But oddly enough, answering Snapcaster Mage might be the more important of the two.
Right, it's possible. You know, Nikolich's deck is only drawing to so many relevant cards. He's got a couple counter spells, and I suppose Snapcaster Mage to pair. It's possible Alan can allow Jace the Mind Sculptor to be on the battlefield for several turns and not really be that concerned about it. It's the Snapcaster Mage, the pressure that's putting on Alan to end the game kind of quickly here. That's, I think, the problematic part.
Back to Nikolich we go. He'll draw. You see he's got Cryptic in his hand now, among other things, as he's picking up a couple cards here with Jace TMS. 2 cards going to go back there for Ben. In comes Snapcaster. Down, it appears, goes Snapcaster, though he will consult his hand first, and it's dead. Field of Ruin, and a whole bunch of mana up, daring Garrett Allen to beat this wall of counter magic, as Garrett Allen will draw for the turn.
And the threat of just getting bolted out of this game, too.
That's the real threat.
Yeah.
Bolts and Helixes, Electrolyze, all that stuff. Garrett Allen is low enough that those become real cards now. Garrett Allen has Buried Ruins in his deck, yeah?
3.
Okay. Just hasn't found one. That's one of the cards that's actually pretty important in a matchup like this, because it lets you get, for lack of a better term, a little bit reckless with your KCIs. Just to try to resolve them.
This deck is pretty good at slogging through. You know, the ability to blow up an Ironworks isn't really that good against this deck because of, you know, Retrievers and Trawlers and Buried Ruins and such. That's why I think the better sideboard cards are the Stony Silences of the world, because beating this deck with Shatters, I think, is not the right path.
I don't think it's the right path at all.
So much stuff cycles, and there's immediacy when they put the Ironworks on the battlefield where they can just generate a ton of mana, even if you do have a Shatter, and they're just so good at getting their artifacts back.
Inventor's Fair will be used to find another copy of Ironworks. Let's try again. Nikolich is going to say no again. He just wants to make sure that he taps his mana right. Boom. To the graveyard goes another KCI. Pass the turn back. That's a Snapcaster Mage. That is game over, as Benjamin Nikolich is going to win game number 1 here over Garrett Allen. Jeskai Control up a game here over Ironworks. And now you see the scoreboard here where Purcell is down, Nikolich and Jones are up, so the team on the right is in the lead. We go to the sideboards, and we will start with Garrett Allen, who's got 4 copies of Nature's Claim, 4 Lightning Bolt, 3 Guttural Response, 2 Gear Power Aether Grid, a Defense Grid, and a Big Worm.
So I like the Defense Grid and the 3 Guttural Responses. This might not be the worst matchup for Aether Grid as well. A lot of Nikolich's pressure comes from one-toughness creatures, and if Allen can't combo out, it's still a way to make traction in the game.
Other side of things here for Benjamin Nikolich, a much more diverse sideboard, and 2 Celestial Purge, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Dispel, 2 Vanillion Click, a Baneslayer Angel, a Lyra Dawnbringer, an Elspeth Sun's Champion, an Engineer Explosives, and Negate, a Stony Silence, and a Wear Tear. Nikolich has got some goodies.
Yeah, Wear Tear, Stony Silence, Negate, the 2 Vendilion Clicks, and the 2 Ceremonious Rejections are all excellent here.
Yeah, these feel like A-plus cards to me.
Yeah.
And he's got some stinkers that he can get out, like a lot of these removal spells. Yes, the burn helped him close that game out, but it's not the game plan that he's looking for to win the game. And you know what? I think he might even sideboard out Think Twice.
I don't know. I actually don't think that's true. There's a lot of saying go. Think Twice is really, it's at its best in matchups where often your opponent is just passing the turn, having done nothing relevant. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that going on here.
I suppose that's true. Maybe it stays in. Teferi?
Teferi seems like a good one to cut.
Yeah. Seems like a little too expensive.
5 is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, in most instances, it only costs 3.
Some of the bolts, the 2 copies of Supreme Verdict are pretty easy cuts.
Oh, those are gone.
Electrolyzes. But no, I think Think Twice should stay in here.
Oh, maybe it will. We'll find out soon enough. As you do see that Matthew Kuhnel won that match over Luke Purcell. Jeskai Stoneblade takes on Miracles. That means the team of Purcell, Nikolich, and Jones, they are currently behind in this match, as now Luke Purcell will help out his teammates. The same thing can be said for Matthew Kuhnel. We will take a moment here to talk about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale. in which you can save a whole bunch of money on playmats and sealed products.
Yeah, you can head over to go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale and check out what items are on sale. Every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Star City Games updates their sale with new categories, so make sure to be checking back to the website at least once a week, see what's on sale. For a limited time remaining, as it is Sunday, up to 50% off select playmats and sealed products.
New sale on Monday.
New sale.
Exciting stuff. Benjamin Nikolich, like we did mention a little bit earlier in the round, he's a champion here on the SCG Tour. Won that Open earlier this year in Columbus, beating Kevin Jones in the finals. And isn't it funny that now Nikolich and Jones both need to win their matches to help their team move on through this round? The 21-year-old from Fairfax, Virginia, is currently a student at George Mason University studying cybersecurity engineering. That sounds difficult.
And complicated.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. Listens to DJ Khaled's All I Do Is Win Before Every Tournament, and he's anxiously awaiting for the release of The Doors of Stone, which apparently is a book.
A fantasy novelette.
Yes.
Of some sort.
Yes. That is Benjamin Nikolich, a youngster here on the SCG Tour and a very, very skilled Magic player who's looking to help out Kevin Jones right now. Now, fortunately for Nikolich and Jones, they both are currently up a game, which is very nice. Both put themselves in pretty good position here, and Jones does have a pretty good matchup there against Mono Green Aggro. Does get a little bit more difficult after sideboard, but Kevin is so well versed in playing these control decks that generally just do nothing. His favorite kind of deck.
Yeah, don't do anything. Don't cast your spells.
Increase your draw step just a little bit with some sort of cantrip.
Right.
That's the Kevin Jones school of Magic right there.
Scry and contemplate life's mysteries. So as you look at a cantrip that maybe you want to draw or maybe you want to put on the bottom.
We will head over to Benjamin Nikolich now. He will play a Flooded Strand as Garrett Allen started things off with a Darksteel Citadel and a copy of Buried Ruin. This is a Mind Stone for a little bit of acceleration. We will find out soon enough if Nikolich does have his singleton copy of Stony Silence in hand as he searches up a Steam Fence with the Flooded Strand. Falls down to 19. But as we mentioned during game number 1, Benjamin Nikolich's life total really does not matter in this matchup. Nikolich will draw a copy of Cryptic Man, play Glacial Fortress, pass the turn back over to Garrett Allen. I'm curious to see if Garrett Allen's going to try to go for a turn 3 Kark Clan Ironworks or not.
I've not played a lot of Ironworks myself, but I would imagine with Buried Ruin and on the battlefield, the incentive to go for it here is pretty high.
He actually would like to check his sideboard here very quickly. Curious what he is looking for. That'll be a Carplusion Forest that he is going to pay to cast Ancient Stirrings. Going to look at the top 5 cards, will Garrett Allen. And he will select Karkline Ironworks. So now Benjamin Nikolich knows that the threat of that game-winning card is present. Can't be cast this turn. I suppose it could off of a Mox Opal. But we're going to see a Mirror Retriever instead. That will resolve. And that'll be a Snapcaster Mage there from Nikolich to get some aggressive beatdowns going. Not sure if Nikolich misses land drop, but he does. And that's unfortunate for him because this should get a lot more difficult now for Nikolich.
Yeah, I mean, if Allen has a land drop here, he can play Ironworks through a Logic Knot.
Mm-hmm. And there isn't too much to concern himself with. Might be scared of something like a negate. But ultimately, Logic Knot's pretty easy to play through at this stage as there's a Darksteel Citadel. And now here, it appears, is a Karkline Ironworks. That will resolve. And perhaps we are off to the races as Garrett Allen gets...
Encroachment!
Yeah. As Garrett Allen gets the green, red, and colorless counters for your viewing pleasure at home. Engineer Explosives will be played for 0. Garrett Allen will sacrifice that and a Darksteel Citadel to play a Scrap Trawler. And Benjamin Nikolich, I respect it.
Tap out.
We're done. I'm conceding. Not going to waste any time watching you do your thing because I can't win.
Right.
I respect it. Garrett Allen.
Mirror Retrievers, looping the pyrite spell, blah, 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 blah.
Garrett Allen very quickly and easily wins game number 2 here over Benjamin Nikolich. We're all tied up in our modern matchup there, Vineworks and Jeskai Control. And you see Kevin Jones still up a game currently against Brandon Cline playing Mono Green Aggro.
Scrap Trawler is intense. That's like a lot of... You are really trying to prop up that sort of deck when you print that card.
There's a lot going on with that card.
There's a lot.
Yeah, they're not messing around with Scrap Trawler. Once you get those 2 cards together, it's pretty hard to lose. Something really has to go wrong for your deck. And Benjamin Nikolich said, you know what, I don't really need to watch anymore to see if something horrible will happen, because I just don't think that's the case. So there you go. That takes care of that pretty simply.
That, by the way, a really good demonstration of why certain people select control decks. There could be a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
But game count currently tied 1-1. How much of the total time spent playing Magic thus far has Nikolich been winning the game? The vast majority.
Tough to say. Tough to say.
He was losing for maybe 7 seconds.
I'm conceded. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
And he was winning for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I don't like how this feels. I'm out of here. Well, these players will finish shuffling up here for game number 3. That game will be underway here in just a moment. Let's talk about the StarCityGames.com newsletter, shall we? It is your source, not mine, your source for Magic the Gathering news, and there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, you can head over to the go.starcitygames.com/newsletter and subscribe right now. It's your source for Magic the Gathering news with highlights from some of Star City Games' best articles, upcoming SCG Tour dates and locations, Possibility Storm puzzle solutions. You can find the invitational qualifiers and game nights closest to you, and best of all, signing up is free over at go.starcitygames.com/newsletter.
Let's watch game number 3, shall we, as these players draw up their opening hands. Nikolich looks like he's taking a mulligan to Garrett Allen. Looks like he's happy enough with his 7 cards. Luke Purcell, he's in the tank over there helping his teammates out.
Kevin, if the game's gone on this long,
Kevin's probably doing okay.
I suspect it's going to come down to this game that we're watching right now.
That blue-white control deck, no thank you. Just does nothing. The whole time it does nothing. It's just too much.
Explaining to a relatively new player how that deck wins the game is painful.
It is. It is.
So you see, you put Teferi back on top, and eventually they run out of cards. It's like, no, that can't be right.
No, it is.
No, that can't be right.
That is what happens. Or they will make a Teferi emblem, and you will have approximately 0 fun.
Oh, that's step 1.
Yeah.
Is all of your permanents are exiled, and then step 2 is you run out of cards because Teferi sets itself back.
Now, to Kevin's credit, he does have a main deck copy of Approach of the Second Sons.
Ooh, good for him.
Yeah.
As a consideration to the clock.
Yes. And everyone's mental sanity.
Yeah.
Kevin has opted to play at least 1 win condition.
By Kevin Jones control standards, having a single approach is going beatdowns.
That's got to be tough for him.
Yeah.
His teammates probably made him play it. Honestly. There, Kevin, you've got to finish your matches. Hallowed Fountain untapped. Here we go. Serum Visions? Yes, please. Nikolich down to 18. Scry 1 and 2. Field of Ruin among those cards. To the bottom they go. Over to Garrett Allen. Darkcell Citadel. Terraria. Flooded Strand there for Nikolich. Let's go back over to Garrett Allen. Garrett Allen will draw. That'll be a Buried Ruin. This will be a Mind Stone. That'll resolve. Tap that for mana. Chromatic Star, pass the turn back. Nikolich will sacrifice his Flooded Strand here on Allen's end step, consult the hand, figure out what land he wants, and then we'll move to his third turn of the game as he elects to go with Steam Vents. Back over to Garrett Allen we go. Let's see what cheap wingding he's going to play this turn. Looks like he's going to start by cracking a Chromatic Star. Draw card. Looks like Allen has a land to play for the turn, just deciding which one. Looks like a couple of options here for Garrett. Carplusion Forest. An oldie but a goodie. Into another Mind Stone. Can't see Nikolich countering that, so that'll resolve.
Yeah, you can't pick any sort of fight over that stuff.
And now here is a Chromatic Sphere. And back over to Nikolich, who will untap that Colonnade and quickly draw a card. It's a Scalding Tarn, he'll pass the turn back. Nikolich getting his eyes on the Kevin Jones match a little bit here.
Classic players, if you are still making your way to your seat, please raise your hand.
See, this sort of shape of the game is why I think this is a think twice matchup. If you're going to do that sort of thing. Because nothing is happening for many turns.
I suppose that's true. And in situations like that, think once, think twice.
Yeah, you're just up a card.
5 mana to be +1 card. No, thank you. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Yeah, but it's 5 mana to be up a card, but in spots where you weren't doing anything with your 5 mana anyway. You had nothing to do.
Oh, I get it. I get it. It's just a lot. There are the games where you cast Think Twice and then die.
Sure, and then you should side it out.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It's just, this is not one of those matchups.
Okay. Is it Ironworks time? Well, it's an attempt. In the face of Cryptic Command mana, rejection.
Ooh. Come on, Gutter Ball. Guttural response. It's been a while. It's been a while. Ah!
Look at how optimistic you are. Ceremonious rejection will take care of Clan Ironworks. The follow-up. Oh, yeah. Third Mind Stone. When 2's not enough.
I have not seen a good guttural response in a while.
It's been a long time. It's been a really, really long time since I've seen that card cast, let alone a good one.
A feature of its block format.
Yeah?
Because the best card by a mile was Cryptic Command.
Oh, yeah? Maybe.
Oh, that's right. Or Cloud Goat Ranger, whichever.
There you go. There it is. You got there. Cryptic Man was better.
I like this play from Nikolich quite a bit. I think his hand is air. I think he's got a couple paths and a land. He is still playing the Steam Vents untapped because his life total isn't under pressure in this matchup and because he needs to represent that he has 5 mana worth of interaction on the turn. Whether that's Cryptic Command plus Ceremonious Rejection, Logic Knot plus Snapcaster Mage on Ceremonious Rejection, whatever. He needs to show strength, and the best way that he can show some strength right now is by playing the Steam Vents untapped. Small thing, but if this play causes Allen not to go for it this turn, Nikolich gets a draw step, and that draw step could change the shape of the game.
Also 5 mana, the ability to cast Think Twice in 1 turn.
He's also representing Think Twice.
That's right.
Which Allen must factor in. You don't have all the time in the world if he's going to draw 2 cards.
That's right.
So you might have to go now. Although that cuts the other way. Nikolich doesn't want him to go right now. Because Nikolich is threatening to bury you in extra cards.
Oh, we have a metagame breakdown. That's exciting. Nick Miller delivering the goods here mid-round. Looks like Buried Ruin was used. Inventor's Fair is here.
The lands in this deck are busted.
They're very good.
They are busted.
They're very good. Here's Ironworks. Let's game! Well, sacrifice this for 2 colorless. Wingdings, let's do it. Draw a card. What comes next for Garrett Allen? Now that he has all his toys. Now, it is interesting to
Might have to
note.
wait a turn.
It is interesting to note that he did tap the old Inventor's Fair for mana, as opposed to the Carpusian Forest.
Yeah, I think I'm guessing the logic here is he wants to give himself a draw to Ancient Stirrings. Because Ancient Stirrings probably cinches it up if he finds it.
Has Gutter Ball in hand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There is Scrap Trawler. We might be done. We're not done yet.
Okay.
But this deck, if you're well versed in playing Ironworks, having your Scrap Trawler targeted by a Path to Exile.
When your battlefield and graveyard are both loaded up like this, you should be able to do a ton in response.
Yeah. So we'll see how Garrett Allen responds here. And how well versed he is with the ironworking of Ironworks.
Because you just get so much mana back, so many cantrips back, and you don't have that many bad draw steps in your deck.
You get to sack your Scrap Trawler to KCI so it doesn't get exiled.
Yeah, and then
there's a lot.
reestablish the loop,
Yeah.
find a Mirror Retriever through all your cantripping, blah, 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 blah.
There's a lot of goodies. All right, sack a Mind Stone. Trigger, get back a Terrarian. Thanks, Scrap Trawler. What else we got?
Scrap Trawler's intense. That card is really quite a lot for this sort of strategy.
Well, whenever a Scrap Trawler or another artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser converted mana cost.
This card's incredible because it's real, obviously fantastic when you're looping, and also just kind of good as whatever. Just something resembling a value play.
So he's going to get back a Mind Stone from sacrificing the Scrap Trawler to Cline Ironworks. As it looks like Kevin Jones and Brandon Cline are headed to game number 3. You thought that game going long was a good thing for the daddy? Wrong!
Might have just been spending a lot of time looking at the top of his deck while getting pounded by 5/4s.
That's right. Totally in play.
Totally in play.
All right, there's a Terrarian. Down to 6 mana. Sacrifice that to Ironworks, up to 8 mana. No red or green mana at this stage here for Garrett Allen. You play a Mind Stone Sacrifice, that costs you 3 mana to draw a card in situations like this. I do know he has a Mind Stone in hand.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this is trying to see how much he can do to try to find another Scrap Trawler before doing things like cycling Mind Stones. But it seems like all the paths should kind of land you in the same spot from here.
Looks like this is another copy of Ironworks. So down to 4 mana. Mind Stone will bring it down to 2 mana.
If he's casting a second Ironworks, that suggests to me that he doesn't think he can go off this turn. He's giving himself a little bit of cushion for next turn.
Chromatic Star.
Because I don't really know what the incentive would be otherwise.
Likewise. Looks like we're going to sacrifice the star to Ironworks. Up to... actually, he's going to float it through. So green mana there.
It's time, round 11.
Play another star, it looks like. So out of mana. Play a Pirate Spellbomb.
And I guess hope next turn to just be able to Inventor's Fair for the piece you're missing and go.
Yeah, Inventor's Fair for Scrap Trawler. Oh, Sulfur Falls. What on earth? Oh.
Not even gonna pretend. I like going from Steam Vents untapped to bluff as much as possible into, cat's out of the bag, take 4.
Wow. I did not see that coming. Well, I respect it. Benjamin Nikolich.
One final slap across the face before you kill me.
That's right. Take 4. Deal with that. Well, if Garrett Allen doesn't have it this turn, I don't know when he will. The shields are about as far down as they can be. You got to play around Path to Exile and Ceremonious Rejection here. See, Garrett's still not too sure of himself about how to go about closing this one out. All this means is that those who are learning to play Ironworks, it's not easy to do.
No.
Sacrifice a Chromatic Star, draw a card. Play an Engineer Explosives for 0 mana. Sack it for 2, up to 4. Crack the Inventor's Fair, get a Scrap Trawler. I suppose it could be Mirror Retriever, but it looks like it'll be Scrap Trawler. So we're going to do some trawling this time, and perhaps Nikolich will concede immediately again. Who knows? We saw it in Game 2. We might see it here in Game 3. Tap the Mind Stone for mana, then sacrifice it to Ironworks. That'll bring you 3. 3 is the exact number to cast. Scrap Trolley. Resolves. Let's have some fun. Add a mana. Sack a Mind Stone. Get back a Chromatic Star. There's a Path to Exile in response. The one card he had to play around. Sacrifice that. Scrap Trawler in response, perhaps. Maybe not.
I mean, can't you sack one of your Ironworks, your extra Ironworks here to get back a Trawler?
You figured out the combo, Patrick.
Woo, buddy!
Yeah, you have seen it. You have seen the combo, Patrick.
Okay.
That is it. All right. Garrett Allen's going to win this match over Benjamin Nikolich, 2-1, which means the team of Matthew Kuhnel, Garrett Allen, and Brandon Cline win the match. Just guys.